Welcome to Horror Facts, where we delve into the darkest and most twisted corners of history. Today, we're uncovering the chilling story of Leonarda Cianciulli, an Italian serial killer whose gruesome crimes earned her the nickname, the Soap Maker of Correggio. This is a tale of superstition, desperation, and unimaginable horror. Viewer discretion is advised. Leonarda Cianciulli was born in Montella, Italy, in 1894, into a life marked by hardship and tragedy. From a young age, Leonarda believed that she was cursed. Her mother allegedly cursed her after being forced into marriage. This belief in her cursed fate stayed with her throughout her life. Her early years were filled with turmoil. After several failed suicide attempts, Leonarda married Raffaele Pansardi, a registry office clerk, in 1917. Her mother disapproved of the marriage, which only deepened Leonarda's fear that her life was doomed by the curse. The couple eventually settled in Correggio, a small town in northern Italy. Despite their hopes for a peaceful life, Leonarda's troubles continued. She suffered through 17 pregnancies, losing 3 of her children to miscarriage and 10 others in early childhood. This left her with only 4 surviving children, whom she was fiercely protective of. Leonarda was deeply superstitious and believed that the only way to protect her remaining children was through rituals and sacrifices. In 1939, when her eldest son, Giuseppe, was drafted to fight in World War II, her fear of losing him consumed her. She became convinced that the only way to keep him safe was through a human sacrifice. Driven by this belief, Leonarda decided to take drastic measures. She turned to the occult and black magic, believing that she needed to offer human lives to secure her son's safety. This dark path led her to target the vulnerable women in her community, women who trusted her as a friend and confidant. Between 1939 and 1940, Leonarda Cianciulli lured 3 women to her home under the guise of helping them with personal problems. Each victim was a lonely woman who sought Leonarda's advice on matters of love, fortune, or life. Her first victim was Faustina Setti, a lifelong spinster who was desperate to find a husband. Leonarda convinced her that she had found a suitable match in another town. Faustina was instructed to write letters to her friends and family, saying that she was leaving to marry this man. However, after arriving at Leonarda's home for a final farewell, Faustina was given a drugged glass of wine and then brutally murdered with an axe. Leonarda then dismembered Faustina's body, boiling the pieces in a pot. According to her later confession, she used the remains to make soap and even baked her blood into tea cakes. These gruesome products were shared with her neighbors, making the crimes even more horrifying. Her next victim, Francesca Soavi, was told that Leonarda had found her a teaching job at a girls' school in Piacenza. As with the first victim, Francesca was persuaded to write letters to her loved ones before meeting the same grisly fate as Faustina. Finally, her third and last victim was Virginia Cassioppo, a former soprano who had fallen on hard times. Leonarda promised Virginia work in Florence, but instead, she met the same terrible end. Leonarda later claimed that Virginia's body yielded the best soap and cakes of all. Leonarda's downfall came when Virginia Cassioppo's sister grew suspicious of her sudden disappearance. She reported her concerns to the police, who launched an investigation. The authorities quickly connected the missing women to Leonarda Cianciulli, who was arrested in 1940. During her trial, Leonarda freely confessed to the murders, showing no remorse. She even described the process of turning her victims into soap and cakes in horrifying detail. Her calm and matter-of-fact demeanor shocked everyone in the courtroom. In 1946, Leonarda was found guilty of multiple murders and sentenced to 30 years in prison and 3 years in a criminal asylum. She spent the rest of her life behind bars, eventually dying in 1970. The story of Leonarda Cianciulli continues to haunt Italy. Her crimes are a chilling reminder of the dark side of superstition and the lengths to which desperation can drive a person. The case is particularly disturbing because of the way she manipulated and betrayed the trust of those around her. Leonarda's case has since become a part of true crime folklore, inspiring books, films, and even opera. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked belief in the supernatural and the horrific consequences that can arise from it. Thank you for joining us on this dark journey into the life and crimes of Leonarda Cianciulli. Her story is one of the most disturbing in the annals of true crime, a grim reminder of the potential for evil that can lurk behind a friendly face. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into history's most notorious crimes. Let us know in the comments what other cases you'd like us to explore. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.